on, people? Fame Entertainment from TICGN.com. You guys have leveled up to 51. This is the Double XP podcast. Before we start, I just want to say that I was just inboxed a video by the man here to my... Oh, that's woman. Man to my left, Nicodemus. Woo! We might hold this L something. We're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about, not on this podcast, but something we definitely got to talk about. Because Nick kind of hinted at this when he talked about, you know, he talked about this, but we're going to move on. We are a bit short today. Our panel is a little bit short. Nicodemus has some things to take care of. Dallas has the wisdom tooth giving him problems, so he can't talk much tonight. So it's going to be just four of us. So we might not hold you guys too long tonight, but we do have some topics we want to hit on. I do want to start off with my right hand, one man, Miss Suvi One herself.
Ooh, what's up, y'all? Hey, this is Mama Sita, Classy Gamer Gals. I promise to always keep it classy. And we talking Sony tonight.
Yeah, buddy.
Yay. Hey, what's up?
That means the dislike shouldn't be too bad, huh? Since we
This shouldn't be. No, we're going to have all the Sony love in the house. All the Sony love.
Hope so. If you guys looking to follow Mama Sita, underneath her avatar, you guys can see her Twitter, her Mixer, and her Twitch. Make sure you guys check her out, follow her, and show her that love.
Appreciate it, y'all.
Next up, Crunk Girl. What's happening?
You already know. What's going on, everybody? Y'all already know who it is. It's your favorite gamer girl, Crunker 711, back at it again. Talking about Sony tonight. I'm happy about that. Y'all know I'm a Sony person. I'm actually playing my PS4 right now. But yeah, man, let's get to these questions. And this E3 is what, less than a month away?
Yes, ma'am.
Like what, 3 weeks? I believe, like 3-4 weeks. It's not even a month. So, and then my birthday is like in 2 weeks. So, yeah.
And next up, back once, at this point, we might as well make Demi part of the show. Well, my man Demi has come through once again. What's going on, Demi?
What's up, everybody? Demi got reviews here. Currently suffering through a cold. This sucks, but I bounce through all the time. Glad to be part of the show. Glad to be here. We talking Sony because it's time to talk Sony.
We talking Sony because it's time to talk games.
Oh.
But shout out to Crunk and Demi. If you want to follow, make sure you guys follow both on Twitter. I missed Demi's YouTube once again. But Demi, what's your YouTube channel name for the people so they can go check you out?
Demi got reviews. That's it.
Make sure you check that man out. Make sure you check out his reviews on TICGN.com. Really quick, my man Anthony in the chat said, "What are you guys' opinions on Rand's prediction video?" I actually did not catch Rand's prediction video. I know it's out because I began to watch it. I got maybe through the first couple of minutes, had some things pop up, so I haven't got to actually watch it. But Rand Outdoors channel I actually rock with consistently, so I didn't check that video out and hear his thoughts. But from what I'm hearing, a lot of people think he's hitting the nail right on the head. So I'm really interested to see what he think Microsoft has cooking. So we're gonna start off with a couple of quick things. Number one. One of the things hit backwards compatibility yesterday was Fight Night Champions. Did anybody play Fight Night?
I'm a little upset. I love Fight Night. I like Fight Night more than I do UFC.
Oh yes, 100%. Like I was.
Had it.
Don't get it twisted. Now I love UFC, like UFC 1 and 2. But man, listen, EA, stop playing, man. Like bring Fight Night back because the same team who's making Fight Night making UFC.
I think they got a missed opportunity right now. Ma, you play boxing at all?
No, y'all can have it, man. Nope, I'd rather watch it than play it.
What about you, Demi?
Hey,
I actually am not a fan of the series of the games personally.
What, bro? You know how happy I was when Aaron Greenberg tweeted that out. Like I lost it because. A lot of people
saw you on last night.
Yeah, I went right on it.
But I would have rather round 4 than champion. I guess you get.
A lot of these people that have an Xbox, the one that's compatibility, I was crying for all the Call of Duty games. But from the day one, I was like, yo, give me a Fight Night game because I don't think we're going to have one in the future. But from what I was hearing, there was like 2,000 people on in the online part of it. I was shocked that the online service was even up. I didn't think EA had those servers up at all. But apparently, like up like 2,000 people are on the online service as of like this morning. So I think that's a good sign to show EA, hey, you have a following here. This is 2,000 people, and that's imagine when you got people who actually go out and buy the game for backwards compatibility. For the people who on PS4 that want to play a Fight Night game, the people on PC, imagine what EA can do if they bring out another Fight Night title. Now, we're hearing that Floyd Mayweather is making a boxing game, and it may be a phone game, it could be a console game, we don't know. But clearly, EA is missing. They're missing the ball with them. They have an opportunity with another boxing game, because boxing's popularity has come back a tad bit. It's not what it was in Mike Tyson days.
Yeah, Punch Out. Bring out some Punch Out. That might.
It's coming back though, because not even just Mayweather, but you got Canelo, you got
Triple G. I mean, there's a lot of Lomachenko. There's a lot of big name boxers. Dante Wilder,
Broner.
What's his name?
Yeah, there's a lot you can do right now.
Old boy who said he was trying to kill his opponent or some shit. He's a black guy.
Come on, Dante Wilder, big dude, heavyweight.
There you go.
Yeah, he was a monster.
There you go.
And you got the ignorant man himself, Adrian Broner.
So I'm saying, like, boxing has, and one of the things that's bringing boxing back is the fact that you're seeing it more on the FS1. You're seeing it more on ESPN, because before, you was only seeing boxing on pay-per-view. People want to watch boxing pay-per-view. That's just what it was. HBO. But, now we're starting to get more and more back on television, a la UFC. Not as much as UFC, but it's starting to come back it's coming back home.
Regular TV, man, and people will be more of a to watch it, because UFC is TV now.
Exactly. So I honestly think, like, plus EA needs some goodwill right now. Honestly, they really do. EA needs a lot of goodwill right now.
What titles wise they do? Because I know the guy from Madden, he left. Rex left. Mm-hmm. The guy from Madden, and then you know what happened to 2K, not 2K, but NBA Live. So they need some like goodwill over there when it comes to sports titles. Anyway,
shout out to the chat, Anthony 2-Bit, Digital Chris, Super Cooper, man. Thank you guys for rocking out with us. You guys could hit that like button. Make sure you guys let people know that we are currently live. We appreciate all the gamers who come through and level up the Double XP podcast. But yeah, man, I'm super excited about Fight Night Champion. I was on it last night. I'll be back on it tonight. And what kind of sucks is I was really hyped for Omen Sight. Omen Sight, as you guys know, dropped this Tuesday. I can have it downloaded on PSN. And I wasn't able to actually game Tuesday night, but then the next day, on the same day, Fight Night came up, and I was like, yo, I can't, like, I need to get a Fight Night. So it kind of took me back on Omen Sight a little bit, but I'll be back on Omen Sight for sure. But I am definitely hyped about Fight Night. Speaking of Omen Sight, has any of you guys picked up Omen Sight?
No.
It's on my radar, but I didn't get a chance to pick it up yet.
Omen Sight is made by Spearhead Games. Omen Sight, I got to play it back at PAX. Spearhead Games also made Stories Path to Destinies, which is one of my favorite indie games this generation. If you love the combat a la Batman, the Arkham series, you will love the combat and the stories, which means you will love the combat in Oversight. It's not exactly like Stories, but it's kind of in that mind frame. The artwork is actually beautiful. So I'm definitely, I got it. I had a pre-order. I actually got that cop. And then another game that came out just recently was Laser League. It's on both PS4 and Xbox, and of course PC. And on Xbox, if you have Xbox Game Pass, it just popped on Xbox Game Pass on the 10th.
Is Omen Sight on Xbox?
Omen Sight, I do not believe it's on. I believe it's a launch. It's a launch first on PS4 and PC. I think it's, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember the developer telling me, it's going to launch later on Xbox. But right now, it's just PS4 and PC. It's definitely worth checking out. It's, I believe, $20. It was it's $19.99. But if you would have pre-ordered, it would have been $15.99. But definitely worth checking out. Go look up some videos, or heck, go play Stories Path of Destinies if you really want to build them to what Spearhead has going. And that's a shout to my man Nicodemus because he put me on to Spearhead and Stories, and I've been in love with the developers.
Oh, the site is nice. They look good.
It looks, I'm telling you, it's soup.
I'm looking at it now. I'm looking at the trailer on it.
Like when I got to play it at PAX, like I didn't, you know, I don't know, I was playing. No, actually Dallas was actually playing it, and I was watching the gameplay, and I was just like flabbergasted. I'm talking to the developers doing an interview while Dallas is playing the game, and yeah, but I was sick, and then I went back later on, and I got to play it, get some hands on with myself, and I didn't want to leave my booth. The game is super dope, and like you have to make certain decisions, and those decisions impact how the game goes, just like in stories. If you guys know in stories, you can die, make a wrong decision to die, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. You know, it actually helps you progress in the story. But that's just a couple of games that have released this week, early this week, that I hope you guys are checking out. And of course, you guys know State of Decay 2 releases this Friday. Anybody getting the Ultimate Edition for this Friday?
Have the Ultimate. I plan to get it. Because I have it on Game Pass, but I will have to wait till the 22nd. So I'm contemplating just getting the Ultimate Edition.
Because I currently have the Ultimate Edition pre-ordered at GameStop. But, man, I'm starting to get worried a little bit. I'm thinking I may just... I still plan on having the game physically. But I don't think I'm going to do the Ultimate Edition. I think I'm going to go ahead and rock with Game Pass and then still go buy the game, the regular edition of the game. Especially because, you know, with it playing it 4 days early, I still need to get on my site. I hop back into Fight Night Champion. I'm playing late. They're going to play Laser League, so I kind of don't want to bump everything over when I can have this 4-day leeway of playing these games instead of State of Decay. Demi, you getting the Ultimate Edition of State of Decay?
Nah. I'm waiting for it to come out, just regular release.
Regular, you Game Pass or just straight up?
I pre-ordered.
Pre-ordered, nice. Kroger, someone who plays on PlayStation primarily, is State of Decay 2 a game that interests you at all? And as someone who primarily plays on PlayStation?
It looks cool. I don't think there's anything wrong with it per se. I haven't played the first one before, so I can't say much about it. I wouldn't mind trying it out though. You know, I don't mind trying nothing out.
And I think a lot of people are.
I want to have though. I don't want to be by myself.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely one of the games I'm gonna be a lot of co-op in. I know you don't get like, you know, a lot of quote unquote story progression, and you can't base build, but you can take a lot of resources back to your game. I think a lot of people are unfairly comparing this game to Days Gone. I think the only comparison is the fact that they both contain zombies, but there are two different types of zombies and two different types of zombie games. One is a story-driven game, the other one is a base building zombie apocalypse simulator. So I think it's a bad comparison, honestly, between the two. And I think some people are trying to downplay State of Decay by the way it looks compared to Days Gone. At the end of the day, like I said, those are two separate games. They're not comparable, at least in my opinion.
The whole tethering thing kind of itches me a little bit because I done got used to Ghost Recon. In Ghost Recon, you ain't got to be nowhere near your guy. You could be anywhere on the map. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I get that, and that's how I think the Division is too. But in State of Decay, there's a permadeath aspect to the game. So if you're in co-op, that means you probably need some help, which means you probably shouldn't be by yourself. Because if you die, if you're somewhere alone and you run into a horde in State of Decay, and you're not with your team and you die, that's it. You got to go hold up a whole new character. That character is gone. And the best character.
Y'all know I play co-op all the time. That's like I play co-op all the time. And I'm trying to remember how many games I have played in co-op where I could not get too far away from my partner or where I even wanted to.
Exactly.
Because what's the purpose of co-op if you want to go off and do your own thing by yourself all the time? You know, and that, I mean, everybody has that playing style, but if I'm playing with somebody, the whole purpose is us playing together.
Well, I know.
And I've been in co-op games where if I get too far, it's going to spawn me back to where my partner is or tell me I'm getting too far away from my partner.
Well, I know.
That happened in Far Cry 5.
What games? I know Borderlands.
So who's complaining about that?
I know Borderlands didn't do that. And I think I'm just saying for me, I've gotten so used to how Ghost Recon, because, you know, I've been playing Ghost Recon like crazy.
Yeah, I played Ghost Recon a lot.
And it doesn't tell you at all. You can be in, like on Borderlands 2, you can be anywhere on the map. The only time they tether you to your
is when you change maps.
Is when you switch when you go hit the loading screen and you switch what planets or however they used to do it.
Right, but what I'm saying is no one was talking about this tethering until State of Decay 2. Did we talk about this with Far Cry 5? Why did I hear tethering before? Far
No
Cry
one
5
complained
is the
about it until
same.
State of Decay. It's fact, man.
To be
But it's
honest,
the same in Far Cry 5, though.
I didn't buy
People are gonna say that Far Cry 5 multiplayer was a tack on, so it doesn't count. That's what I've been hearing from a lot of quote unquote gamers.
Oh wow!
Oh my gosh, be for
I haven't played. You know what? Actually, Far Cry 5. My cousin is gonna bring me that game, so I'm gonna be able to play that game probably either this week or next week.
I'm just thinking you're a plumb fool if you get into a multiplayer co-op game on State of Decay 2 by yourself. Like in the chat, my man Super Cooper said he watched a streamer lose her whole community today. Lost our whole community today because permadeath. I don't see why, especially if I got one of my favorite characters, my best character with me, and I jump in Mama see this game. You better believe I'm gonna be next to mom so she can help me out.
You done all right.
I don't want to lose that character because you don't get that character back.
I haven't played the game before.
You're in it together. You want to ride solo, then play solo.
Exactly, and people are talking about story player game. Oh, not so single player game, but this really is a single player game. It really, at its core, is a single player game, and they added on multiplayer. Multiplayer was a highly suggested feature, yes, but it's a single player game, so you can go play this game by yourself if you don't want to be tethered to a friend. But for the people who are trying to get a particular thing or do something in particular and they want some help, why would you not, play with the help that you call?
Did you play Fable? Fable was 10-2. In Fable 2, I remember you couldn't get too far off. So I mean, it's not
that world wasn't as expansive as like State of Decay, and I think a lot of people are spoiled just from open world games. State of Decay promised like this open world title to be like roaming around in. They just generally assume that hey, we're going to be able to do things freely, right? Me and my friend, we play two totally different styles. We split up and search, and then we meet up in the general spot. That's how we did it for Dying Light and 7 Days to Die. So I think that's kind of how people expected it to be.
But even in Dying Light, though, I mean, when I was, because I played a lot of that as well. When you couldn't just drop in. If the person was further along, you would tell you where it was still progression based wherever that person was progressed at. So it's not like you could just drop in, drop out, and it didn't affect you or so I mean I get what you're saying, and I get everybody has their playing style, but I'm thinking, why are we making this such a big deal with State of Decay 2 though? It's not like this is the first game that has done this.
It's not the first game that
No, like you said, it's not, but like somebody in the chat said, it's kind of fake outrage. I think people
so too.
Has this been a and I know people are gonna say, oh, there's such a thing as a bias or anything like that. But at some point, you have to look at things, step back and look at things. Microsoft's games are judged more harshly. Had this been a multi-plat game, no one would be talking about the tethering.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think people expected for it not to be tethered, or they should have expected it?
I don't think either way. Honestly, like I said, because I don't think it's going to be a problem. I don't think for the people who play this game, I doubt, unless you purposely go from your team, I don't think there's going to be anyone who's legit playing the game and enjoying the game and going to complain about the tethering because they're not going to notice it. Because for the most part, you're not going to be away from your team. You're not in this type of game. You're not going to be by yourself at any point. You would not want to be, especially when it's nighttime and the nighttime of the game is beautiful. It's pitch black, dark. You're not going to want to be by yourself.
Yeah, and when I was away from my team or my co-op player in Dying Light, I mean, you lose XP, but it's not like permadeath. If I die, I'm going to lose everything. It wasn't that way. So, I mean, it's like, I definitely wouldn't want to be by myself in State of Decay if there's permadeath and I'm going to lose my character, lose everything.
Yep. All right, guys, we're going to move on and hit some of these main topics today. Like I said, for those in the chat, make sure you guys smack that like button and share out. We would definitely appreciate it. Did anybody play, besides me, play and somewhat enjoy Lawbreakers?
It was okay.
You being funny?
No, I actually, the game wasn't bad.
I played
it was okay.
I thought it was cool.
I thought it was
have anybody to play it with.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be like my break from Overwatch, really, but it didn't last that long for me to have that break.
So you guys know by now, unfortunately, after Scalebound pretty much failed, at one point they reported that no one on PS4 or PC was playing the game. Then they made Radical Heights. Bosky made Radical Heights. And
well, I'm pretty much
Lawbreakers.
sure if Scalebound failed, you know.
oh, my bad. I said
Lawbreakers.
Scalebound.
I was
You
like,
know why?
okay,
Because I was looking at the Scalebound sign. My fault. Lawbreakers had no one playing it, and pretty much flopped. And then they said that Radical Heights, they tried to lie, said it was a passion game at first, and they came out and said it was a last-ditch effort. It lost half its people within the first couple of hours. So Bosky Studios has completely shut down. They're gone. Cliffy B has taken time away. So not to keep beating the nail on the head about, oh my God, Bosky is closed down. I don't think no one's truly heartbroken. But I do want to ask you guys, do you think Cliffy B will actually make a return at some point? Because today he put out some fire. He put out a fire concept art for this Ninja Dragon game, was I thought was dope as hell. But do you guys think at some point Cliffy B will come back? I think at some point he'll come back, and I wouldn't mind him coming back and working on Gears again. What do you guys think?
I don't want him to work on Gears again. I want him to do what he wants to make. I don't think he wants to make Gears anymore.
He wants to make Lawbreakers.
Yeah,
he wants to make Radical Heights.
Let him make what he wants to make. I mean, I hate when we want them to go do something they don't want to do right now. He's up under that whole umbrella. Yeah, I know he loves Gears, but let him make what he wants to make. If it fails, it fails. You got to remember, a lot of these developers, they fail at the beginning. They don't always succeed.
Yeah, but I don't think Cliffy B gonna come back and be ahead of no studio at this point.
If that concept art that he showed looked like it looked, I want a game like that. That shit look hot. But will studios take a chance is the thing. Will they take a chance on concept art like that and find a team to put around?
You know, a lot of people didn't like Cliffy B from the jump. A lot of people thought he was an arrogant little shit.
He is arrogant, but that's what made him who he is. That's what made Gears what he is.
But I think this kind of humbled him a little bit though, because I remember how he was popping shit about Xbox, and then he was just popping all type of noise, and then now he's the most humble developer in the world now. But like, I think you can't be like that as a game developer anymore. I don't think that flies nowadays.
Man, David Jaffe was the same way at one time, and then he leveled out a little bit after Twisted Metal didn't do it so well.
He got humble, and now everybody hype about Detroit. Sometimes you got to get humble, but I do think he'll make a return. What do you think,
one thing I do know, he wants to make money.
Yep.
It's been about what he wants to make. He may not. I don't know what he wants to do with Gears or not, but I do know he wants to make money in whatever he does do. And
yeah, I mean,
I'm just saying. I don't get all hot about concept art and all that stuff, and all seeing stuff on paper and it plays like dog crap. So I'm like, that's just me. I don't do that stuff.
This game didn't play like dog crap, but people have to realize too, just because you make a multiplayer game does not mean it's going to succeed.
Fact.
I keep telling people that, like, you can make a multiplayer game all you want. That does not mean it's going to succeed, and it does not mean it's going to pop off and people going to love it.
Well, did you play Radical Heights? Because I played it, and that played like crap.
I mean,
it played like crap. I played it on PC.
His problem is that he followed the trends. He was trying to cash in on trends instead of just being creative and original.
He tried to follow Overwatch, it didn't work. Tried to follow Fortnite, PUBG, didn't work.
Yeah, he got to come up with his own idea.
But what he was saying was those concept arts, he pitched those to other, I guess, publishers, and they was like, nah.
And that's the thing right there. What they did jump on was things that were following trends. So I'm thinking the concept art that he really showed, I think that's really what he wanted to do.
Because that game looked dope, and then I thought the aspect of finding different dragons and having to raise them from egg to fully grown, I was like, yo, they got the kind of Pokemon element in it, bro. I thought that was dope.
But it's the reason why he couldn't bring those himself. He had to pitch it to someone else because obviously he didn't have the money.
Yeah, it's too ambitious.
Bring it himself.
Yeah. Did you see the other one that he showed?
I only seen the one with the ninja.
Yeah, he had another one that was kind of like a giant tank-based tank game. It was kind of like World of Tanks, and like it was called Dog Walkers or something like that. And like the concept art was like this 12, 15-foot tank against another 12 to 15-foot tank, and like it was 5v5 battles, and each person controlled certain parts of the tank.
Like different people control different parts of the tank.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's ambitious as hell.
That's different. Yeah.
But you know what,
That
though?
is.
Like, if he pitched those ideas and nobody jumped on it, that says a lot about what the industry.
Yeah. He said that they told him either they was too different or it was more of the same. So it's like he got the response. So regardless of what he did, he got a no to it. It's more of the same or it's too different. I'm like, how can you be both of those things
Yeah,
at the
that
same
makes
time?
sense.
I think the publishers missed out on a good chance with this one. Looks like both of those, really.
It sounds like a contradiction, though. Like, you went for the trend and it didn't work. But then when you try to go for something that's not the trend, they don't want to back it. So that's like putting somebody in a corner. It's like putting you in a corner and hitting you in the chest and tell you to move.
But you know, at the end of the day, you know, my mouse is like somebody's hacked into my PC. My mouse is moving all over the place by itself. Well, at the end of the day, you know, my hope is that those 60 developers hope y'all land on their feet and find jobs. I'm sure they will. There's always studios hiring, so and Cliffy B, he's rich, so I'm sure he'll come back. Like I said, as arrogant as he was, and like somebody said in the chat, bragging about Lamborghinis. You know, he's a developer. He has a great mind. He invented Gears of War. These concept art seems great. I would love to see him come back with a big company, i.e. Microsoft, Sony, Ubisoft, Bethesda. I would love to see him come back in that type of form and with a big developer, a big publisher, and, you know, show the world, you know, that he still has it. He can still make that gem. He can still make that Gears of War style masterpiece of the game. So, hope those people do bounce back. Next up. You guys heard about happening to Scalebound today?
I did. Sorry.
Oh.
Sorry, Fang. But I probably
like I lost it.
Walls off yet? Because I know you messed up the walls a little bit.
Bro, I lost. I got so freaking happy. Demi and Ma, did y'all see this? Y'all see what happened today?
I saw it.
And actually, it's still up. So what's going on is Scalebound was on the Microsoft Store. You couldn't download it, but it showed back up after it had been taken down. It popped back up, and a reset error user actually found the game. And the description is still the same, and it still talks about how it's developed by Platinum.
Once again, what you gotta say, and today I want to talk about.
Why do I hear this? Bro, L, automatic L. But yeah, Scalebound came up, so somebody recent error, you know, posted, and everyone kind of lost it, right? Oh my God, is Microsoft teasing something before E3? Is Scalebound coming back? As you guys know, a lot of people think Platinum owns the IP for Scalebound. That isn't true. Microsoft owns the IP. It's Microsoft assets. So if they wanted to give those assets and that IP to someone like Capcom, whatever, they can actually go out and make this game for Microsoft. So when this popped up, speculations ran wild. You know, is it coming back? What they doing? Who's going to develop it? And some people, like I said, was thinking Platinum owned the game. And then someone tweeted out, this thing tweeted out Aaron Greenberg. And I wish I had the tweet pulled up here. But Aaron Greenberg said this was an old page that was supposed to be hidden. I'll get the team on it. Well, that was early today. As of right now, that page is still up. So I guess the Scalebound fanboy me is saying, well, he didn't technically say it wasn't coming back. What do you guys think, man? You guys, is there any possibility that this game, which should have came out, which should have been released, actually gets released and come back at some point? And if so, who would you like to see make Scalebound, since we know it won't be Platinum?
Honestly, I get Square on it personally. If it came back, if it had to be somebody, I definitely get Square Enix on it.
Any chance you think it come back?
I don't know. That's the big kicker. I really don't know. I want it to come back, but I just don't see it making a big return.
What y'all think, Crunk Ma?
After seeing Monster Hunter Worlds, I think Capcom could do it.
That's what I was saying.
After seeing Monster Hunter Worlds and seeing like my boy Persona them play that game and streaming and whatever, I think Capcom could do it.
I think Capcom would be dope as hell.
They already got a relationship with Microsoft.
And I was hearing at some point, I was hearing that Capcom still owed Microsoft one more game left in a deal they had struck. So, you know, then I always thought it was dope if Scalebound had released. You know, we had Aloy, you know, and Monster Hunter. I forgot. I don't remember what this guy's name was. Was it like Aiden or something along the line? I could have seen him in Monster Hunter along with this dragon. Thought that'd been dope as hell. But Ma, did you have any love for Scalebound?
I was very interested in Scalebound, very interested, but I didn't have the feeling of loss because it didn't come into fruition. Because, you know, I saw some gameplay and, you know, some cinematic trailers, and I don't know, I didn't really care the protagonist. I just thought he was goofy to me. I wasn't into the music, you know, the headphones and music. To me, that took the seriousness out of it. And I was immediately wondering, like, how am I going to bond with him playing like that? Although people would say, well, Sunset Overdrive was goofy. I said, well, yeah, but that's a goofy type of game. Scalebound didn't come off as goofy. I thought this was kind of more serious tone. So I wanted my protagonist to be serious.
Oh, that's interesting, Mike. I didn't get a serious tone from Scalebound. I think the moment those headphones on, what got put on by the main protagonist, it sort of set a tone for me.
It did for me. It just wasn't a good tone. It kind of, for me, it just kind of took me out of the, you know, for me, I have to bond with the character. I have to feel some type of connection to that, and that type of hippie thing, I wasn't feeling. Doesn't mean I wouldn't have played the game. It doesn't mean I would not have even enjoyed playing it. But it's not like I don't feel the loss that other people are saying. Oh my God, Scalebound! Like, I don't feel that. I did with Fable because of the connection and the history of playing it. But I didn't have a chance to learn and know anything. I don't know the lore. I don't know anything where he come from. I have none of the history for me to be upset about something I've never played.
See, I think one of the things with Scalebound it's one of those games that when people say it's missing on Xbox, this is one of those type of games. And it truly is. It was a action, RPG style game. You know, it was a brand new IP. It was a bit ambitious.
It was co-op as well.
Co-op.
Co-op.
It was super ambitious. I know some people will say get over it, and I was still in the phase of getting past Scalebound, but then today opened up a wound. It opened up a wound, man. Because I still wish this game would get released. I still wish Microsoft, because it's one of the gripes with Microsoft, right? Where are the exclusive titles? This was an exclusive that, a lot of people, who, aren't really into some of the games that were released on Xbox at the time, were excited for a game like this. To a lot of people, not saying it to the millions and to the majority, but to a lot of people, this was a system seller type game because it was a game that goes along with the type of games that they play.
Yeah. Didn't a lot of the former employees of Lionhead end up at Rare and Playground?
I'm not 100% sure about the developers from Lionhead. I know Playground got some guys from Ninja Theory. They got a couple of guys from Naughty Dog, but I'm not sure if they got anyone from. But then
most of them must have went to Rare. I couldn't remember which one. Did they go to both or which one? Because I remember when they laid off, a lot of them were going over to some other Microsoft's other studios. So I'm just wondering if they ended up at Rare, could Rare be someone that?
Nah, I get kind of where you're going with that, but for me personally, like, I would want Capcom. Even Demi said Square. I can see Square too, but I think Capcom, especially after like we talk about with Monster Hunter, I think Capcom would be the perfect developer.
Monster Hunter World. I didn't care. I didn't, but
Monster Hunter World is cool. I'm more of a Dauntless person. Like, I play a lot of Dauntless, and I'm looking forward to the full release of Dauntless. But I don't know. I just think Scalebound would be. I think Capcom would be a perfect developer if Microsoft to bring it back, because, like I said, they got They still own the rights to the name. They got all the assets. They put all their money into it.
They would have to make that in house. They would have to put somebody, because I just, if they chose a third party developer, that would just be another whole thing for them to have to deal with. Yes. Well, there we go with the third party. That's not first party studio. So I just think I would hope they would look in house first.
It would be dope if they built a studio around it. I thought.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It would be dope.
Yeah, I agree.
Dopeness. All right, we're gonna get to the main topic. What everybody wanna hear. Sony's E3 2018. You guys on E3? It's next month. Is right around the corner. And Sony, this was originally a prediction show, right? When we got together as a team and we talked about what we do going forward. We talked about doing Microsoft, PlayStation, and Nintendo. They were all prediction shows. Where Sony decided to go ahead and be like, you know what, we're gonna do what we want to do, and this is what we're gonna do. And they came out and talked about how they're gonna give us a deep dive into 4 games: Last of Us 2, Spider-Man PS4, Death Stranding, and Days Gone. And then apparently we're gonna hear more about some third-party games as well. But anybody got thoughts? What do you think about them not having a traditional? I'm gonna tell you right now, and I'm gonna keep it completely funky. If the stream start and I see a fucking stage, a couch, I'm gonna tune out and I'll watch the stuff later. Cause that couch thing they did at PSX, like, that was boring. Yeah, they got some stuff I'm excited to see, but that was boring, G. Like, it wasn't a good way to show off these games.
I wanted to wait for you to finish, but I was there at PSX, and if they do what they did at PSX, I'm going to be pissed. I don't think they're gonna do it like that, but please God, don't do it like that.
If you see a couch,
2016 is the go-to method. Do that. That was a great E3, and you didn't go over an hour and some change. You just played games, showed games, and that's all we want to see. Like, all that unnecessary talking. Nobody want to hear that shit. As a Sony fan, they better, Lord knows, they don't do what you did at PSX. That was so trash, and I was so pissed that they did that. The only reason why I wasn't as pissed as I should have been, because for one, we were waiting outside for hours in line. But secondly, I saw like the gameplay for Detroit, and you know what I'm saying, I was happy with that. And Medieval, because I'm a huge Medieval fan. But other than that, I was pissed. So I'm gonna need for them to not do that.
So, quick question, Crunk. Out of the 4 they're going to deep dive into, which one are you most particular, like, you looking forward to the most?
Death Stranding.
Just because we haven't seen nothing?
Yep. And I didn't think we were going to see anything this year. I didn't think we were going to see gameplay until probably 2020. So this means that Kojima has been working on this for longer than what we thought. He's further along than what I think people think he is.
I'm really hoping, as far as Death Stranding goes, what they show us is something that tells us what the game is about. Enough of this mysterious, undecipherable stuff you post, and then people say, "Oh, it's gonna be great because it's Hideo Kojima." No, tell us what this game is about. Like, finally, like now, like what they show us deep dive, but it shows what the game is about.
I think Kojima will eventually. He will.
They need to do it now. Stop this mysterious shit.
I'll say this: no matter what, when Last of Us 2 gets shown, you already know what it is. But for me, because they already said at PSX that they were going to show gameplay at E3, so that wasn't a surprise. I don't know why people thought that was a surprise. He said it at PSX on the Last of Us 2 panel. Neil Druckmann. He said that at the panel that it's E3 where we're going to see gameplay. So that wasn't a surprise. What the surprises I think are going to be are what third-party IPs that Sony shows.
Now, are they going to hit us with, because if it's not a traditional E3, they're not going to show game, and then show us a sizzle reel of the game. If they're doing a deep dive on this, what can we truly expect from them to show if they're going to just focus on these 4 games?
We're going to see third-party stuff. That stuff, I don't think, for one, remember at the Game Awards, From Software showed a trailer. So they got a game coming. We don't know what it is, but we know that they showed a trailer at the Game Awards. I thought we were going to see something at PSX, but we didn't. So From Software has a new game. that may be shown at E3. And of course, if it's shown at E3, we know what stage it's gonna be on. It's gonna be on Sony stage. Also, we was hearing rumors about Devil May Cry. We've been hearing shit about that for months. Well, like what one or 2 months now. Been hearing about Devil May Cry, either a reboot or was it 6? I believe. Which Devil May Cry are we on?
This should be DMC 5 coming up.
5? Okay. Because the last one was like a reboot. Because that's the one that I beat. I played that one, and I think I played Devil May Cry 4. But I keep hearing Devil May Cry is coming.
Exclusive? That was the rumor last year.
I don't know. About
I don't think it should be.
I don't know about it being exclusive, but if it is, that's pretty big. And then also, I think we're supposed to get some release dates too for some games.
Devil May Cry 5 exclusive to PlayStation.
That was the rumor last year.
Yeah, it was a rumor last year because they've been talking about Devil May Cry since last year. But the Ghost of Tsushima, I'm wondering if we're going to see any gameplay of that. That may still be shown.
I hope so, because that's my most anticipated game for Sony's E3.
Okay, so was it Ghost of Tsushima or was it Days Gone, the fourth game?
No, they're not showing Days Gone. They're showing Ghost.
So I got it wrong. My apologies.
That's why they showed it in Game Informer, because it's not going to be at E3. Because remember, it's not coming out till 2019. Because they pushed it back.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah. So they're giving people the first gameplay of it because it does look better than what it did when they showed it before, because it hadn't been showed in almost a year, I believe, and some change. So
they'll probably save that for PlayStation experience.
Yeah, I think if we do see any more, it'll be at PSX, but you never know. But Ghost of Tsushima, I really want to see.
Oh man, that
I think this is the first time that the Infamous team hasn't made Infamous. This is a totally different.
Sucker Punch.
This is a new IP. This is something different, man, and I can't wait to see. I mean, Sony's been hitting it out of the park with the developers making new games, man. So
definitely, and they have. They most definitely have.
Let me ask you this:
with actual developers who don't make that type of game, and they've been doing pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So, Mama said, let me ask you, what do you think about them not having a traditional E3 and the format they may bring out? And out of the 4 deep dives, what are you most interested in seeing more about?
Well, I don't know if it's been confirmed whether or not they're going to actually have a theater press conference or not for fans and media to attend. I'm not sure if that's been confirmed just yet, but if they're not going to do that, I don't know. I find that kind of, when I say strange, I mean strange as to make that announcement this close to E3. If that's something that they had announced kind of prior to, then yeah, but to get so close to it where everybody's anticipating the traditional conference and to make that type of announcement, I kind of think would be just kind of strange. But why they would do that, I get it. I totally get it. I don't necessarily have a problem with that. I really don't. I mean, I feel like Sony and anybody, do what you need to do to bring your games to the audience in the manner in which you feel like you need to bring them. And if it's going to save money, if it's going to save time, if it's going to save something where we can get great AAA games that we've been getting from Sony the past year or two, I say so, so be it. I think Sony gets a pass to be able to do certain things because they have been bringing the big guns here lately. I think if they were in the situation with Microsoft, I would say, you know what, you need to stick to traditional route. You need to go ahead and just bring everybody. We need to see what you're going to do. But Sony, no, I think they can get away with it.
Sony laid the roadmap years ago. So.
Yeah,
I'm cool with them being different. I just don't like the whole. Let's have a round table at this couch. I just don't like that.
Like being there, it was boring as hell. Except for when the game came up that you was really invested in. Like I told you, the only thing that I was invested in at PSX when they did their show was Dreams, Medieval, and Detroit.
But their E3 show last year, I think people were pretty much Sony. They thought that it wasn't necessarily one of their best.
It wasn't.
Yeah,
I think it was like, I think that show in maybe 2014 were like their worst shows.
and I think that we're changing too. The fans are changing, the press is changing. I think is why they're kind of moving away from the tradition, because as much as we say we want it, but we sit there and we nick and pick and we say it's boring, it's boring, it's boring, and we want all these bells and whistles. And what do we expect them to give us other than what do we want? Live gameplay on stage?
2016, 2015, 2016, I can deal with that. But I know, of course, I'm not going to get that every year. So
yeah.
Like 2016 was perfect because they didn't talk. Because of course, like Sony is known for taking up 2 hours for E3 show, and like they did their show in like 42 minutes, and it was like straight to the point. Like no like rip off, no like none of that. It was straight game. Sean Layden walk off stage, game. Sean Layden walk off stage, game. Like it was just that, and I was like, yo, perfect. Nobody talked the whole time, but Sean Layden. And he's talked for less than a minute.
Right. And if Insomniac, Naughty Dog, and Sucker Punch, and Kojima gives us like in-depth gameplay and I guess direction of where the game is going, and we get that from E3, is that really the purpose and point of E3 anyway?
Yeah, it is. It's crazy. It's just a lot of people they are always in a mindset of E3 means you're going to show new games, and
so what you got?
And these are games that aren't released that we haven't seen much on, and people got to realize, yes, Sony is constantly putting out games, putting out bangers left and right, but these developers can't work 365. Like they got to make a game and take a break. Like some people, how are you going to expect Santa Monica to be working on something right now? Like they just did God of War. They done. Give them a break.
Yeah, they're going
to working on Last of Us too. Like all the Sony studios are accounted for right now. So how can you expect for them to be showing new games when all the studios either just finished the game, just released it, or they're currently working on a game? So how can you?
Which means they're going to go through a dry spell at some point.
They will. They have to.
Yeah,
they always do though. Yeah. Telling people this, like this year and next year they're set, but 2020 is really the PS5, I believe, because didn't Sony also say that they won't be showing hardware this year?
Yeah,
so that hardware. They brought it up. That means that it's coming next year.
And if it ain't, I think gamers better be prepared for, because once that console drops, it's going to be able to drive first, because all the developers have to, they're busy making a game, because they just released a lot of games, between last year, this year, and the next couple of years. They got a lot of games dropping. Developers can't work 365. That's just not feasible.
It's not even just that. It's Sony's track record. They do this every fucking generation, man. People should, I swear people need to stop, like, understanding how Sony rolls. At the beginning of the generation, it's always slow. But mid-year and in the end, you're going to have a whole bunch of games. At the beginning of this generation, though, I will say that they had more games this generation than they did last year because of the indies and because of like the third party JRPG.
Third party support was heavy, and they got the JRPG market tied down because Microsoft has no market share in Japan.
We had a bunch of free to plays at the beginning of this generation too that held a lot of people over.
Yeah.
So people was like, you ain't got nothing to play. And I was thinking to myself, do you know what we started off with last gen? We really didn't have nothing to play if you had a PS3.
But Demi, what are your thoughts on it? What are your thoughts about them having a new format? And which game, after the deep dive, will you look most forward to hearing more about?
What's the 4 games again?
We got Spider-Man PS4, Ghost of Tsushima. Damn, I can't never pronounce that right. Not Day. I want to keep on Days Gone. Jesus Christ! What are the 4 games? What are the
Death Stranding, Ghost,
Death Stranding.
It's Death Stranding.
Last of Us 2.
Last of Us 2.
There we go.
Ghost of Tsushima.
There we go.
Oh, I was muted.
I couldn't get it out of my mouth.
I'm ready just to see more Spider-Man fully.
Thank you. I thought we were the only one.
I feel like we seen a bunch, but we still don't know much about it either personally. Like we only got tidbits and little nitpicks here and there. I'm just ready to see like all of it in like full action, really.
Like full blown gameplay. Like Death Stranding, I get why somebody will really be excited for that. But I just don't, you know, I need to see gameplay before I even can be excited about what the game could be. Spider-Man.
So how much? Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Ma.
Well, I was going to ask you and Demi, like, how much gameplay do you all like seeing? Like, if it's a game you're really anticipating, how much gameplay do you need to see for, you know, before you actually play it? Because, I mean, for me, if it's a game I'm really interested in, I don't want to see a lot of gameplay, but like,
not too much, but I really want to see more of how the combat is, because, like I said, we've seen a lot of like predetermined moves from Spider-Man, but I want to see like full, straight up like combat interaction. I want to see more of the traversals. I know we've seen some. I just want to see a little bit, not a lot. I don't want the story ruined, anything like that. And I'm not saying, even if I didn't see more, I've seen enough to buy the game. But when it comes to them going into the deep dive, if I had to say one thing I'm really going to hone in on, it will be Spider-Man.
I feel like I've seen enough. So as soon as I saw the traversal, that's all I've seen
enough to buy a game, but I would love to see more of this game. Like I said, The Last of Us 2, and I think it really depends on the game, because the Last of Us is one of my favorite games this and last generation, right? And so I don't need to see much of any, because I think with a game like The Last of Us, seeing too much will kind of ruin it for you. And, you know, a game like Spider-Man, I don't think you could ruin the game for yourself just by seeing more of the mechanics of the game. I don't think that would ruin it for you, because I don't need to see none of the main story plots, anything like that. I just need to see more of the mechanics, if that makes any sense.
It does.
But that's just me. But Demi, what do you think about them not having a traditional format? Do you think we're going to see a lot more besides the 4 they're talking about?
Yeah. I feel like we need a confirmation on certain things too. Like me personally, I'm ready to see the release date for Concrete Genie and Dreams, because those are like 2 titles I'm interested in. But they got to like fully confirm certain things. And basically, I got this feeling that, you know, since they're talking about third-party stuff also, we're going to see some gameplay for Red Dead 2.
Woo, they do that, Lord.
Because they pretty much have to show some Red Dead. They have to show some Call of Duty. They have to show that
some Destiny.
They don't have to show shit. Rockstar don't got to show nothing. They're just being honest.
I mean, like, when it comes to marketing deals, like, but Sony has to show. They're going to show Black Ops 4. Like, they have to make room for stuff like that.
They're going to show Destiny 2. Yeah, they're going to show some other stuff.
What about WoW too? I remember that one.
That game don't exist.
What happened with
that? Was an
independent somewhere where deep down is.
That was a double A done by third party. So I don't know.
It looked pretty interesting though.
Man,
it did. You just don't know what happened with it.
Deep down got turned into Monster Hunter Worlds. Don't sleep.
You think so?
I say this much though. Show Red Dead, man, that's overkill. They show Red Dead. Then they show freaking Ghost of Tsushima, and we see Last of Us 2. Oh man, that's enough for me. I'm good.
They got so much stuff cooking though. They can afford to put some stuff off and let it.
Yeah, they can. And this is where you think a company like Microsoft can take advantage by showing surprises, because we know what Sony's doing. If Microsoft can show some surprises, that would help them go a long way. Just because Sony showed their hand.
They show Last of Us 2. I don't care what nobody else shows. I'm just being real with you. If it looks like I think it's gonna look, oh man.
This E3, Microsoft or Nintendo can go up really.
Yo, like that's what everybody's gonna be waiting on. I'm telling y'all now. When Sony has their show, we're gonna wait all the way to the end, and then we're gonna see
Last of Us gonna be last. Of course.
I don't know though. You never know.
That's how they're gonna end the show.
They probably gonna kick that off with Last of Us.
Sony started with God of War in 2016. I didn't expect that.
They probably gonna kick that off sitting on the couch in the Last of Us.
Like they may do that. You never know. Like Sony been cocky lately, so you never know what they may do at E3. So we'll see.
I do hope, like I said, the deep dive into these 4 games are great. These are 4 of the most anticipated games to release over the next couple of years. So that's great. I just hope we see, more besides those 4 games.
I keep hearing that it's gonna be a game that's gonna come back, and it's not Medieval, because we already know about Medieval. Not they keep saying that another game is coming back, but I just don't know what it's.
A
I'm
remaster
calling.
or a remaster, a continuation?
I think it's a remaster, I believe.
SOCOM.
I'm about to say SOCOM. As
They
one of the
do
most,
that?
as one of the most, asked for games, the last 5 years. A lot of people have been begging for SOCOM.
I'll say either SOCOM or Onimusha. Those are like the two I see happening.
Tenchu?
If that's what Shadows Die Twice is, then maybe that too.
So
No, I'm not turning into a pony digital tiger.
Oh my god!
I just happen to like Sony and their
Mama
games.
said like games.
I'll say
Like
this.
games.
I could care less for any Demon Souls, Bloodborne, Dark Souls.
I don't
I'd
like
rather
them
be
either.
Tenchu. Yeah, so I'm skipping. That's why I'm skipping on a cold vein because I feel like that could have been like such a great hack and slash and got ruined by trying to step into that Dark Souls type gameplay.
I don't know, man. Tenchu was dope though. That shit was fire.
Yeah,
Back then.
Tenchu is something I would want. We don't have that many stealth games this generation.
True. I mean, the closest thing we got is what's the name of that game? Everybody thought that's what it was, and that Neo.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody thought that Neo was Tenchu, but it isn't. When they first, I think when Sony first showed that game, everybody thought at first that it was Tenchu, but it wasn't. Or either Onimusha. Some people thought it was Onimusha too.
I'd love to see that come back.
They need to quit playing and give us the Vita we all deserve, which can play PS4 games.
The Vita that we had, it should have just. I'll say the Vita came out at a weird ass time. Like when it did come out, like now, like looking back at it, I think they should have waited for the PS4, man, because the Vita works so perfect with the PS4.
All they had to do is be a portable PS4, and it would kill the Switch. It'd kill anything. All they had to do is be a portable PS4.
The Vita was dope though. It was just before its time.
Yeah.
I used to download movies on that mofo and everything, man. Like, and of course, I put games on it.
The PSP was the GOAT. PSP.
I didn't have a PSP, so
it was fire. But we have hit our time. We're gonna get up out of here today. Thank you guys for rocking with us once again. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, follow my panel, as you guys can see where you can find them on the screen. Let's get these outros going. Mama Cedar.
All right. Shout out to everybody in the chat for rolling with us tonight and being live. We appreciate the conversation and the questions, all the good stuff. And I thank for everybody that's been supporting me on Mixer, Mama Cedar 925. Appreciate that. And you can follow me on Xbox and PSN as well. Mama Cedar 42 on PSN though.
Crunk Girl.
Yes. Shouts out to everybody that was in the chat. Chat was very lively tonight. Y'all was on fire tonight, man. Thanks for coming through and watching us and listening to us talk about these video games. E3 is right around the corner, so stuff is about to get real. All the fangirls and fanboys is about to roll out and change stances. It's coming. I already know it. But yeah, man, y'all follow me on Twitter at Crunker711. Follow me on my YouTube channel, of course, and Twitch. And yeah, thanks for coming through.
My man Demi.
What's up, guys? Demi got reviews here. Thank you for having me on. Go check out the God of War review on my channel. I have a video that's about to drop talking about the Shenmue 3 and Metro Exodus delays. Just something I need to touch up on real quick. Stepping off the norm with my videos. And yeah, check out the channel. Check out the content. Follow me on Twitter, that guy Demi. And that's it.
And unfortunately, since Sony kind of took things out of our hand, we couldn't really do a proper E3 prediction show for Sony. But we'll be back next Wednesday as we do Nintendo along with a third-party developer. But thank you guys for rocking with us once again. This has been level 51 of the Double XP Podcast. You guys have a great one. And we out.